Guys, we're talking about dating again. Buckle up. So it was late last year that we talked about the scourge of forever girlfriends. There is a sort of community formed around these forever girlfriends online who are in long, drawn-out monogamous relationships with men who claim they want to get married, but they're just not ready yet for whatever list of reasons. And this particular forever girlfriend documented her experience on TikTok with a creative outlet. She created a little music video about her heartbreak, and I wanted to show that again and remind you all. This caption reads, "If you don't have a ring on your finger within a maximum of 2 years, you're not going to make it. It's time to move on, sis, to bigger and better things." That will be relevant in a second.
Imagine you live in LA with your boyfriend.
Forgot about this.
And everything's going amazing till he says, "Babe, I want to move back to Texas to be closer to my dad." So you give up half of your career, quit your improv troupe, and have a goodbye party.
I can't. I'm sorry. I know people hate it when I interrupt in the middle of the videos, but we've shown this one once before, so we get a pass.
If you're in an improv
the second
troupe.
you're in an improv troupe, nobody has any sympathy for you. We'll continue. I'm sorry, guys.
Take off months of work, deplete your savings to pay for movers, and drive to Texas. So worth it for the love of your life that wants a future with you because he said so. So you spend a month waiting for your shit to arrive, and then another month moving in and building furniture and stuff, and you're so happy till he comes back from a family vacation. On your couch, which just arrived in the mail, and hands you a note that says, "We have nothing in common and we're incompatible." Oh no. How did I not notice this whole time? 3.5 years of happiness. We've been incompatible this whole time, and that we have nothing in common for 3.5 years. How did I not notice? Wow, what a surprise. Thank you for informing me that this whole time we had nothing in common. So you back up your car wherever you can fit it, just getting your grind too hard, so we get to back it for you, and then you drive to Florida to live with your mom.
I mean, he packed it up for you. What else do you want?
What a nice guy.
Like, I don't even know what you're complaining about.
So yeah, this was a huge story at the time, and yeah, she was with this guy for 3.5 years, and he, according to her, promised a future, growing old together, getting married, having kids, and she picked up everything for him, and basically he threw her life into chaos because he wasn't able to just tell her the truth earlier. And these are the boyfriends of the so-called forever girlfriends. We have a 20 from VBent, or Vebent, I don't know. Just got in. Mary's listening to old Bieber albums. I wanted to point out my kids, ages 12, 14, and 17, and all of their friends prefer music from the 90s and early 2000s. They said current music sounds bad in comparison. Well, that's a good sign.
Maybe it's because there was more soul.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So now there is an updated 2025 version of this. A forever girlfriend who actually took matters into her own hands and ended the relationship before getting her heart broken. This was a woman who shared her experience on TikTok, saying that at the beginning of her relationship, on their first date, she told her boyfriend he had 2 years to propose, and then on their 2-year anniversary, she dumped him.
Okay.
And this was her caption on the post. Yes, you read that right. When we started dating, I told him he had 2 years to propose. On our 2-year anniversary, after he flew me out to Catalina, surprised me with a suite and a beautiful boat around the island to celebrate our love, and planned a beautiful long weekend trip, he did not propose. She was expecting this on the trip. So I broke up with him and ended our relationship. Thank God I did not marry that man. There were so many reasons I should have left prior, but decided to stay. And that was the tipping point. I'm blessed every day that this man is no longer in my life. And I'm proud of myself for sticking by my gut and what I told him on our first date. Ladies, time is not a love language. If you have big dreams, that sounds like something that someone would post on their Instagram story. Time is not a love language. If you have big dreams and goals that require a male counterpart, like marriage and a family, I wholeheartedly believe you should not waste more time than necessary on the wrong person. After 2 years of being together, he was still uncertain about marrying me. Then I wasn't going to wait around to change his mind, beg for him to help me achieve my goals, or work harder out of this idea that I needed to, quote, prove my worth. He didn't make a move, so I did. I left. Consistency without commitment is just convenience. That's another Instagram story quote. And I'm around for a man that commits, not a boy that wants to waste my time.
Okay, so this is an interesting one. Her desire to have a set time frame, perhaps because she wants to have a family and she feels that she's on a clock or whatever, 100%. Everything else on this makes me want to jump off a bridge.
About
the way it's phrased,
the caption, and
I think
the vibe.
So back to our discussion yesterday about the whole like men and women not wanting, like, why is nobody dating? Why aren't men making a move? This is the type of thing, like, it's not even about being humiliated by asking a woman out. It's knowing that these conversations are not confined to a small group of friends anymore. It's something that is shared with millions upon millions of people. And this right here, despite the fact that her request is 100% reasonable, is an enormous red flag because of how it's presented.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, I think that social media has taken... okay, it's enough of a red flag if your wife, you know, spills all of the ups and downs and conflicts of your marriage to her mom, and then her mom holds it against you because she's always going to be more loyal to her daughter than you, the man who married her daughter. Even that is just a microcosm of what we just saw. That's sharing it with the entire world. So I totally understand, and I object to that just as much as you do. But if we're just engaging with the idea behind what she's sharing, yeah, she's totally valid to have made this decision. And
setting a timeline,
yeah,
100%. The idea that she waited for the 2-year anniversary, despite the fact that something already was telling her she should break up with him. She's like, I'm getting one last vacation out of it, and then I'm peacing out.
What she thought is that he planned the vacation for the purpose of the proposal.
So in my head canon, the funniest version of this is like she broke up with him, and like his plan was to propose as soon as they got back from the vacation, but she left beforehand.
That doesn't make much sense.
That's my funnier version of this.
I don't believe that. I think that in all likelihood, this is a very familiar archetype of guy that exists in the dating world today, who maybe pays lip service to wanting commitment, wanting marriage, wanting a family, and then keeps a placeholder girlfriend around for as long as he can possibly try. And either it ends the way in the first example where he ends it, or it ends because the woman is feeling anxious about the amount of time that she's wasted and has to pull the plug on the relationship.
Yeah.
I think she made the right move in ending the relationship. I think that the way she's sharing this message isn't going to land with men.
No. I mean, but she's not doing this for men. She's not even doing this to find love. She wants her fame on the internet.
I think it would be a lot more impactful for her to share this message after finding a spouse. If she found a spouse after the breakup and then went on to share this story of a previous relationship with her following, saying, this is the decision I made. I ended up meeting my husband however many months or years afterwards, and it worked out perfectly because he followed up on his words. That would be a lot more impactful and constructive. What you're about to see is her follow-up to a comment saying, He dodged a bullet with you. You can't make or expect someone to be who you want him to be. You didn't love him. Here was her response. You can tell by her tone what type of person we're dealing with. She's a self-proclaimed self-worth coach.
That was the first red flag.
Yeah, that's
go.
a red flag.
Good women have, so we'll stay and tolerate their mediocrity. If you're new here, I'm
Can you
self-worth
rewind
coach,
to
and
the
I win.
beginning?
This is the mentality shit men hope good women have,
Yes.
so we'll stay and tolerate their mediocrity.
If you're new here, I'm Bella Marie, a self-worth coach, and I went viral for breaking up with my partner on our 2-year anniversary because he didn't propose. And I would do it again.
Never, ever for nobody stay with someone out of sunken cost fallacy. It's when you're scared to walk away because everything you already invested, even when walking away would actually benefit you more than staying.
The last 2 years of my life, do you think I was going to give that man another 2 minutes? The idea that starting over is something horrible is absolutely bullshit. I would rather start over than stay with someone who doesn't want me or treat me like I matter. Why would I stay in something that didn't care about me, or if I achieved my goals in life, or even considered ever what I wanted, just to say I didn't start over? If you think that I was sitting there pressuring him, any relationship where you have to nag or beg someone to help you reach your goals is a relationship you need to walk away from.
Ladies, please stop pleading a man to treat you the way you want to be treated and just get a man who will.
And then people say I didn't love him. Girl, I was head over heels for that man. I did. But love alone is not a reason to stay with someone who's unsure about you. And honestly, if he really loved me, would he have let me walk out of his life? Love is never enough. It is not what is going to carry your relationship through life. Shared values, common goals, mutual effort. That's what makes it work. Because you're not just lovers, you're partners. And partners move forward towards common goals in life together. Which is why
I guess that's the part 1. We're not going to be watching part 2.
Correct.
This is resonating with women. The women in her comments are glad to hear her expressing these ideas.
Did
But
she ever explain what like her level of effort was, or what the effort she put into it was? Or was it just I gave you a deadline, now meet the deadline?
we don't know the context, and we're not going to know the context. But I think she was probably overlooking a lot of other red flags about this man besides just the fact that he was wasting her time. I think people are referencing that he cheated on her. I don't know if that's true. One of the men in the comments said, I'm taking a girl on a first date tomorrow. I'm going to tell her that she has 2 years to get ready for marriage. I don't care how special our relationship is. If she says she needs more time, then I'll dump her on the spot because I know my self-worth. That's not the clapback that you think it is.
Her points at the end were accurate. Common, what was it? Shared values. What was it? Shared values, common goals.
Mutual effort.
Mutual effort.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Fuzzy feelings are not going to carry a relationship to the grave.
But I mean, none of this matters because you're presenting the information in a way that's so egocentric and combative that the only people it's going to resonate with is women that are as hurt as you are. So no man is going, no reasonable man, or should I say no regular dude is going to, like, I'm forced to engage with this content because it's my job. Mm-hmm. But if I watch this on the outset, I'd probably just ignore it because she's so just awful to listen to.
Well, my take is influencers are not going to give you the tough love you need. Your loved ones should. And it will actually work when you hear it from someone who cares about you.
I mean, me and you've had this discussion before. I said, there have been 1,000 times. I think it's just because we do this show and the stuff that you wanna cover tends to put stuff into my orbit that I would never seek out or find ever. And the general idea is, like, a lot of the time I'm hearing things that the way it's delivered is so awful. And this is why the battle between the sexes is the way it is now. Is like you hear a lot of really, really good arguments that you're not supposed to hear. I'm hearing things that are meant for other women to hear, not for men to hear, because it's not being presented. It's like when we were talking about the follow your girlfriend's hormonal cycle. And I said, no guy is going to take that as good advice from a woman, but from a dude married for 20 years, sure.
We have a 20 from Shane H. Wilder. Having a timeline and not wanting to waste each other's time is fine. St. Alphonsus Liguori spoke on the importance of a timeline to engagement and marriage to keep from wasting time. This chick's handling of it was horrid. My point is, in the first example of the chick who moved for him and then got her heart broken, you know, I think in a sane society, her parents or her family members or her friends would say to her in a private moment, you're probably not making the right decision with your life moving for this guy who hasn't married you in 3 years. And also, his family members would have told him, you know, you deserve better than to be with someone that you're not actually looking at a future with. You should break up with this girl. You're doing both of each other a disservice.
Or if you are, it's time to man up and
Yes.
actually take the next step.
Yes. So that didn't happen in the first example. In the second example, I doubt that it happened. And then it reminded me of this post that I saw last week about a similar example, but even more egregious, dating for over 10 years. She said one of her best friends from high school met her boyfriend at 19 at church. Everyone agreed he was a wonderful guy and they made a great couple. He said he was open to marriage but never wanted kids. At the time, this was something she could live with. They dated, were celibate for many years until he decided to stop going to church. He didn't go anymore, so she didn't either. They dated for over 10 years, moved in together, bought a condo together. He insisted he was still open to marriage, but never wanted kids. She waited for a proposal that never came. Eventually, they broke up. She was devastated. Her entire 20s were wasted on that, quote, wonderful guy. Within 2 years, he had married someone else, and now this man that never wanted kids is a dad. She has blame for sure on not breaking up with him sooner. But there is something extremely sinister, evil even, about a man who does this to a woman. He led her away from God, compromised her values, and dumped her after a decade, only to renege on everything he proclaimed he wanted. As Christians, we simultaneously expect women to follow men and yet have the fortitude needed not to follow them as well. I'm going to disagree with that a little bit because there's no Christian teaching that you follow the lead of your boyfriend. Okay? That's not in the Bible. The word boyfriend isn't in the Bible, believe it or not. And there's no Christian teaching that women are just supposed to follow everything that their boyfriend tells them to do. The moral of the story is, according to her, everyone still refers to this guy as a wonderful man, now a wonderful husband and wonderful dad. My friend is still single. We can hold women accountable for choosing the wrong man, but society should have pressured this man at year 3 to break up with her if he wasn't ready to commit. Protect women from men like this and stop calling them wonderful. So when you use the word society, what you're talking about is this girl's parents and this guy's parents and their friends and their other family members and loved ones. We're not talking about society. Okay, that's a cop-out. We're talking about the people that actually are invested in their lives and care about their futures and their best interests. Society, and especially social media, is not going to look out for them when it counts. An influencer like this one, Bella Marie, who's going viral right now for her breakup, doesn't actually care about your future. And even an influencer like Christian Walker, who is a gay man, by the way, actually screaming at women in his videos. And I like him. I think he's very charismatic. He is screaming at these women that follow him on Instagram, saying to not put up with these shit men and their mediocrity the same way that we just saw. They're not going to take it to heart because it's being offered to them through social media. They should hear it from a family member, someone who actually is an authority to them, someone who actually has an emotional investment in them, someone who actually has the context of their entire life to draw upon. That's why you're listening to this woman deliver this message that's technically correct in so many ways, and it's not landing.
It's never going to land in a way that is actually constructive.
Yes.
And if these people were honest about their intentions, which is not to be constructive and helpful, but to gain followers and clout, then we could have that discussion. But we're not going to have that discussion because they won't be honest about why they do this stuff.
I guarantee you the women that are commenting supportively on her TikTok are not going to take her advice.
There's also like there's a general disconnect here because the internet will be filled of videos from the woman's perspective, but guys don't make these types of videos about their relationships, at least not that I've ever seen, and if they do, they're not very popular.
I've seen it.
Like, it's not something, it would be untoward and weird if a guy did it anyways. The most you're going to see is maybe a response from this guy who maybe has like his own, like, it would be interesting to hear his perspective on this, why he didn't find himself ready to propose. Because sure, maybe he's the villain, maybe he led her on and expected her just to deal with it. Or there is some aspect of her personality that gave him pause.
Yeah.
In which case, she's still valid, as they like to say, for her hard out 10 p.m. we got to go to the news exit from the relationship. And he's probably not as broken up about it as he thought of, sans his tickets to Catalina Island or wherever the hell they went. I'm sure that there was aspects, as we always understand, that this is not a single sum game. Both parties play a role in this. So I believe that she was right. I also believe he dodged a bullet.
Yeah, I think that you can actually, those ideas can coexist. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.